immediately. Bum, bum, bum. But I wish you the best for the rest of your life. Felt sorry.
Oh, I barely stopped in that. I barely stopped because I was just like so enamored by the sound. Kia ora and welcome. My name's ZoeStibi and I'm a vocal coach with over 18 years of experience teaching people like yourself how to sing. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Billie Eillish. Now, excuse my French. L'amour de ma vie. I hope I said that correctly. She's an amazing vocalist. We had a look at Wildflower. I was blown away. Let's see what she's up to with her vocal technique.
I wish you the best for the rest of your life. Felt sorry for you when I looked in your eyes, but I need to confess, I told you a lie. I said you break your heart.
Whoa, we are starting off strong. Now I can see why this song has got so many views. This is just like beautiful. You're really hearing that cry. Microphone a little bit further away that's telling us that the volume is a little bit louder, but this cry that she's bringing into is so important. Let's just have another look at that. And then she goes into a little bit more of a typical Billie Eilish sound that we're used to. This is like a little bit more sung though than we're used to for Billie's beginning of her songs.
I wish you the best for the rest of your life. Felt sorry for you when I looked in your eyes, but I need to confess, I told you a lie.
But we've got this, I told you a lie. And that cry as she's lifting up her chin there, almost really signaling to us that it's painful. It's really that emotional side of this crying. The vibrato's coming in there a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about that in the next break though.
Lie. I said you were the love of my life. The love of my life.
Wow. And you can go, and she's just doing that little bit of what we're doing there is letting go of the vibrato, so it sort of wobbles a little bit slowly. And when you push in extra air through the vibrato, you get that effect. And then you can do that aspirate offset at the end of that. Now, vibrato was really brought on through a balancing of the vocal fold closure against the breath flow. So we're not pushing too much. We haven't got too much pressure here inside the throat, and it's sort of like a perfect balancing of the muscles that allows the larynx to sympathetically shake through the vibrations that we're creating from our vocal folds themselves. But getting those vocal folds together without too much breath pressure is paramount for achieving a natural vibrato, and that is why I have a course specifically about vocal fold closure and making sure that we can take out all of that breath pressure in my Vocal Academy. So check out the link in the description below.
The love of my life. Did I break your heart? Did I waste your time? Well, I tried to be there for you. Then you tried to break mine. It isn't asking for love, for an apology, for making me feel like it'd kill you if I tried to leave.
Oh my goodness me. This is now the Billie sound that we know, right? We've got a slightly thinner fold vocal fold closure down in that lower part of the range, which gives us a little bit that really quiet sound without all of the breath coming through. So vocal folds like just barely touching. And when we're doing that, we're taking the volume right down low. We're able to get a little bit of that creak or that slack vocal fold to come into the sound. And it just gives us that extra feeling of this is so hard, this is really difficult for me to say, but that low volume makes it really personal for us.
Feel like it'd kill you if I tried to leave. You said you'd never fall in love again because of me. Then you moved on immediately. Bum, bum, bum. But I wish you the best for the rest of your life. Felt sorry for you when I looked in your eyes. But I need to confess, I told you a lie when I said to you, you were the love of my life, the love of my life. So you found her.
Oh, whoa, this is just like the emotions coming off these vocals, and listen to these three beautiful singers who are supporting the sound. And do you notice that they're all very similar in size, okay, with Billie? And that has a lot to do with the fact that similar sized people, in terms of the height, have a very similar, well, we go to say kind of a very similar size larynx. So therefore it's more likely that the timbre, so the color of our voices, is going to be similar. And you can hear that they've taken a little bit more of not quite a breathy voice quality, but even thinner vocal folds, just a touch of breath coming through there, because otherwise we'd get a very washy kind of sound behind Billie's voice.
Love of my life. So you found her. Now go fall in love, just like we were. If I ever was, it's not my fault. I did what I could. You made it so hard, like I knew you would. Well, thought I was depressed or losing my mind, my stomach upset almost all of the time. But after I left, it was obvious why. Because for you, I was the love of your life. But you were not mine.
Oh, I barely stopped in that. I barely stopped because I was just like so enamored by the sound. Okay, we have to go and have a look from the midsection of that. Oh my God. I was just wanting it to keep on going and going and going. We heard with the you, just let's go back to here. You. And then she says, I was the love of your life. Yeah, oh.
It was obvious why. Because for you.
For you, I was the love of your life. Oh, these lyrics as well, just so fantastic. So when we've got this you, she's going into this, and Billie does this when she goes up high. She goes into what a lot of people think is a whisper, but it's really not a whisper. It's thinner vocal folds with a little bit of air, but she's not pushing the air. Yeah. And we know that she makes these decisions really, really decisively. Like she says, this is what I'm going for because this is the kind of emotion that I'm trying to portray. And we always want it to be that the emotion is portraying our vocal quality. And we're not trying to go, okay, in that moment I want to belt. You got to think about, why do you want to belt? Why do you want to use that vocal quality? And when we're doing the with that breath, it's like a sigh. It's like a crying out. And at the beginning, we heard less breath, slightly more vocal fold contact, more like resonance in the sound, because it was more of like a statement at the beginning. Always want the emotions to be causing the vocal fold quality. Let's just go back on this because this was like the most stunning performance.
For the love of my life, the love of my life. So you found her, now go fall in love, just like we were. If I ever was, it's not my fault. I did what I could. You made it so hard, like I knew you would.
So you hear there in this bridge section, go fall in love. She's got, it's not like she's getting a hell of a lot louder, but she's just taking a bit of the breath out of the sounds. So go fall in love. But I'm still assuming that her volume is not very high because she hasn't really taken the microphone far away like she did at the beginning. Got the microphone slightly closer to the mouth, but we're also getting a little bit, and go fall in love. You can hear
The love of my life.
yeah, the love of my life. So we've got that slack vocal folds. Slack vocal folds is when the vocal folds moving as slowly as possible, and they're creating that. It's a really great, we hear this from Oh Baby, Baby, probably the most famous version of it. But we've got this coming in, and that's just giving us that feeling of like, oh, it's a real struggle when we're singing. That's actually a really great way for you to achieve a more closed vocal fold sound. Actually, if you go and that's actually one of the exercises that I have available in the Vocal Academy, which is my online singing school. So check out the link in the description below if you're interested in learning more about vocal technique and how to improve your singing. Billie is the most amazing singer.
So you found her, now go fall in love, just like we were. If I ever was, it's not my fault. I did what I could. You made it so hard, like I knew you would. Well, thought I was depressed or losing my mind. My stomach upset almost all of the time. But after I left, it was obvious why. Because for you, I was the love of your life. But you were not mine.
I absolutely love that moment. And I know I say this every time. I love that moment at the end of songs where the singers go back into being themselves. And when they're singing, they're performing, and then as soon as the music stops, they go back to being themselves and step away. And then you sort of get a little bit embarrassed. And I absolutely love that, because I think a lot of the time we think that singers are just these extroverts who just are like, please watch me, but it's really all about the communication of the lyric and this like need, this desire to sing, and this like internal thing that you actually have no control, like you have to sing. And that's what I really, really love. And absolutely loving this band. What a beautiful, I want to say like they are just like supporting this sort of like this movement underneath the singing. And they're not getting too much, they're not getting, there's not too little of it, but we're really, really concentrated on the lyric. And that's what I love about a lot of Billie Eilish's music, is that we hear the music supports the lyric rather than the singing kind of being one of the instruments in the band. And I just absolutely love that about her and her performance. And did you notice though as well, there were no like vocal fireworks. She didn't go up and belt a whole bunch of stuff. We know that Billie Eilish is the most amazing singer, but you don't need to do that. You don't need to do crazy runs and all this sort of stuff. So if that's not your type of singing, if that's not something that you do, I sure as shit don't. I don't do a whole lot of like runs and riffs and stuff like that in my own singing. You don't have to. And I just want to let you know that, you know, your voice, the way that you want to kind of create it, or the sound that you want to make, is absolutely valid and beautiful in its own way. But if you've enjoyed this video, oh my God, who wouldn't have enjoyed Billie Eilish? Then hit that subscribe button, because it really does help me. I'm a full-time singing teacher, and it really does help me to carve out more of my working week so that I can be here with you on YouTube. And I absolutely fucking love it. Honestly, like I'm obsessed. I could do this all day long, but unfortunately I have to keep not unfortunately, but I also have to teach as well. If you're interested in learning to sing, I have an online singing school. You've heard me talk about it. It's called the Vocal Academy. The link is in the description below. I run bi-weekly masterclasses, which are live with me online, as well as I have a whole library of singing lessons. So you start with lesson 1, you go away, you practice it, you send me a video for review, and then I give you feedback, and then you watch lesson 2, you go away, practice it, and so on and so forth. So it's really, you get weekly singing lessons. You get feedback from me, which was the absolute most important thing, as well as bi-weekly masterclasses where we get to exchange music and exchange ideas live. Check out some more Billie up here, and I'll see you around here next time. Have an awesome rest of the day. Happy singing! Ka kite anō.